whenever the government is passing a law in the name of protecting kids, I think there are serious questions to be asked about whether what it's really doing is saying this speech is bad for everyone. So
Yes.
that means that two of the most likely sources through which kids will see sexual material, in fact, probably exactly the same sexual material that exists on even porn sites, aren't regulated at all by the law. And it also is something that could push kids and other people to more illicit corners of the internet.
Well, as we're entering in the holiday week, this week is the birthday of one great country, this United States of America. Happy birthday on there. We're celebrating on Friday, July 4th. Now, last week, SCOTUS had come out with several um, decisions, some of them good, and one or two that, wasn't good at all. One thing out there, and we got that on Otaku Thursday coming up. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week. We know that the governor of Texas signed SB 20. And basically, starting September, it's going to go on there. But I think the SCOTUS decision could help in quashing it when SB 20 comes up to SCOTUS, because there was another decision concerning giving, and it was a going to Texas, that parents could opt out to their kids gaining the same what SB 20 was thought to have been put together for, but really actually it's a censorship bill, to the point that it's attacking anime, comic books, all type of entertainment on there that basically is of the animated or artistic situation. The other, this is the one that got me a bit upset, but I think Free Speech Coalition did not handle it in I don't know how basically they talked about it, because I haven't even listened to how they fought this. Seemed that SCOTUS had basically upheld the Texas law on age verification,
Well, if you're happy, then I'm happy, because after all, what?
which is not good news. I think we're going to go back to the drawing board on this. But before we read into this from AP, don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. We're about 1350, trying to reach to 2,000. We would really appreciate that if you would hit that subscribe button. This week I will be on Sci-Fi Snobs channel, the retrospective, Babylon 5, episode 3, Geometry. I think it's the Geometry of Shadows, if I'm not mistaken on that. It is a good episode on the Babylon 5 Season 2 lineup. So do check me out. I am going to be one of the guest panelists on that. So it's 11 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. We will leave a link to it. And our Wednesday 10:30 episode will let you switch over. As soon as the video's over, it will send you right directly to the channel. So let's get into this. From the AP, Supreme Court upholds Texas law aimed at blocking kids from seeing pornography online. The Supreme Court on Friday upheld a Texas law aimed at blocking children under 18 from seeing online pornography. Nearly half the states have passed similar age verification laws, as smartphones and other devices make it easier to access online porn, including hardcore obscene material. The 6-3 ruling comes after an adult entertainment industry trade group called Free Speech Coalition challenged the Texas law. The court split along the ideology lines. The group says that the law puts an unfair speech burden on adults by requiring them to submit personal information that could be vulnerable to hacking or tracking, it agreed through that the children under 18 shouldn't be seeing porn. A leading adult content website, Pornhub, has stopped operating in several states. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called a VPN, citing the technical and privacy hurdles in complying with the laws. The Supreme Court has confronted the issue before in 1996. It struck down parts of the law banning explicit material viewable by kids online. A divided court also ruled against a different federal law aimed at stopping kids from being exposed to porn in 2004, but it said less restrictive measures like content filtering are constitutional. Texas argued that the technology has improved significantly in the last 20 years, allowing online platforms to easily check users' age with a quick picture. Those requirements are more like ID checks at brick-and-mortar adult stores that were upheld by the Supreme Court in the 1960s, the state said. District courts initially blocked laws in Indiana and Texas, as well as Texas, but the appeals court reversed those decisions and let the laws take effect. Now, the thing is, and I'm going to go over to a piece here. The thing that gets me with this law and the way they're putting to this point, it's intermediate scrutiny of this situation. That's basically the way the court is doing it. It is an intermediate scrutiny to the point. Understand, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know how free speech fought this in the court, but the way you look to this point, and the industry is wrong. Yes, 20 years, the technology has improved somewhat, but it is still at issue. They said, well, we're going to use facial recognition. So you're going to basically take my face and leave it somewhere in the system. So that's basically, you have a poster outing that I watch certain content. I watch certain things. SCOTUS has got it wrong, and to the point. But I don't think this was fought in the right direction. If this might come back to SCOTUS, this might. Not like this particular thing. I think it's going to come in a overall general on there, and it's going to be to the point where it's not going to be about pornography. It's not going to be about basically protecting children. It's going to be to the point where that you have a situation where if I wanted to watch a particular show, if I want to watch a particular video, if I want to read a particular book, if I want to read a particular magazine, if I want to gain certain health information, unless it's behind a paywall, if it's an independent where you're not paying for it, you're asking me to identify myself by my own face on a screen that basically where is it being stored at, or you're asking for my driver's license, ID, information about myself, and you're storing it somewhere. This is similar to the attack that happened that Time Warner took back in the late 80s and early 90s. And I talked about this before with former porn actress Robin Bird and the head of the gay cable network, that Time Warner sent out a card to their subscribers. This was Time Warner Cable, which is Manhattan Cable TV. They sent out a card to the subscribers, to the people who had the cable TV. They said, if you want to watch shows about LGBTQ, if you want to watch, well, at that time it's gay cable network, or if you want to watch adult content like Robin Bird, Midnight Blue, fill this out with your name, send it back with your signature that you want to watch this channel, unscramble this channel for my cable box. That basically is wrong. One, that's outing. That's nobody's business with what I do, because people can take that information and use it on you. So that's the one thing that I don't think was fought in the courts as far as that. That basically you're taking, advantage of the situation, that you're making lists of names pictures, to that point. That becomes very dangerous to that point. And I don't know if this is what, Free Speech Coalition obviously was taking this from the porn industry point of view. I don't know what the ACLU did or any of the others that, was part of this. But I think this should be brought back to SCOTUS as a point of contention that if anyone is using certain things to identify yourself, unless it's a pay site, unless it's something that it's a pay site. In other words, you're buying furniture, you're watching a streaming particular channel, any of that nature where you're using a credit card. That's a different situation to that point, because you have to add certain other different features, encryption on there, which guaranteed they're not using the same encryption on age verification points. You're taking information on people, putting it aside. Someone hacks it and can use it against somebody. Yeah, that is a point contention. And you say, well, that's never happened. Oh boy, Well, back in, what was it, 2015, I think it was on there? There was a site called Ashley Madison. If you don't know Ashley Madison, I've discussed it before on this channel. It was a site that you went to for discreet dating service that connected people that were cheating on their spouses. And you say, oh, it's a man's site. No, actually, two ways to tango here, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, what happened was there was a group called Impact Team. And they hacked into the system, stole basically the website's information, and posted it online. And this was not just like any regular users. There were politicians, police officials, actors, actresses, corporate people that were in there, people who of substantial financial gains to that point, Wall Street and all that were on the site that were outed. You said, well, that was over 10 years ago, but still, within the 10-year gap on there, you don't think that it can happen again? You don't think that can be used against someone again? We've had our Social Security numbers hacked into. Remember that, too. This is as of recent last year, to that point. People were like, oh, it's Trump's fault. No, Trump wasn't even in office yet. He was still running for his second term as president. This happened during the Biden administration. This is the stupidity that happens where people think, oh, it's all safe if we just put, blockers on there to identify yourself. But where is all this information going to? And that's the question asked. See, someone had it best, and Pornhub had said it themselves. That, and I'm still looking into it, whether the pros and cons of this is the best thing to do as far as that is, when you buy your iPhone, you buy your computer, you enter all that information into your computer system itself. And basically, it should be that you identify yourself within your hardware and not the software. And I think that's a better issue in itself, as long as you protect your own computer system. Antivirus and all that, you protect yourself onto there. But identifying your age as far as what's on your computer, and you say, well, people can cheat to that situation on that. Cheaters are cheaters. If people want to hack around and, lie about themselves, it happens on a daily basis. What more can you do to that point? But if it's children, I'll tell you, these are situations that basically should be handled in the home. There is software out there, that you can protect yourself. I mean, one of the stupid lawsuits out there against Pornhub was that the parent says, well, my child accessed it through a laptop. I said, well, don't you have protections on your system that, blocks this situation. Oh yeah, I have it on my computer, but my laptop is a lot older and I can't really put it on there. Bullshit. You just had a laptop that you just didn't put it on there, and you kept it in the closet or somewhere on there, and your child knew about it, went over and gained access. That should tell you alone that basically, was your child looking for this? No, mostly they were looking to get on TikTok or Instagram to that situation where some of this stuff does exist. They weren't really going to Pornhub. Can you prove they were going to Pornhub? Unless they were getting redirected to Pornhub, most of these kids are looking at TikTok and Instagram to that point. That's what they're on most of the time. So, we've got a loss here. Let's see where we go from this point. So, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts about this. I mean, where are we going to go beyond this on age verification? It's hard to say. We're still waiting on, what's going to happen with SB 20. Also, don't forget to hit that like, share, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Check me out on Sci-Fi Snob this week on Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern on his channel. I'll be on the panelist on there. Also, a Taco Thursday. This Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and Rumble. For those of you who are just catching this at the holiday, hey, have a happy and safe long weekend. Stay safe out there. Stay away from fireworks. Let the professionals handle it. Enjoy yourself. Get to a barbecue. Get out there. Get out in the good weather on there. Happy birthday, America. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be well into July. Bye-bye now.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for a purple mountain, majesties above the fruited plains. America.